This video is brought to you by NES Bitbox Game Cases, the best way to display and store your NES games. So be sure to check out stoneagegamer.com/bitbox to place an order, link below. How you doing, guys? My name is John with Gamester81.com, and in this episode I'll be reviewing the Super Nintendo Miracle Piano Teaching System. This came out in 1991, retail for a whopping $500 US. If you consider inflation, that's roughly $870 today. You can imagine the hefty price tag. This thing didn't sell very well. A lot of parents did not want to spend that much on a gaming item or accessory for a gaming system, so it didn't sell very well. It's programmed and developed by a company called Software Toolworks, which they created other games for Nintendo. For example, Mario's Missing, Mario's Time Machine, a lot of educational games for various platforms. This thing was also ported to the NES, which by far is a lot more common than the Super Nintendo version of it. Also came out for the PC, the Amiga, even the Macintosh saw a port of this as well. For the most part, they're all the same. The PC ports and computer ports are a little bit more advanced. They have a lot more software, a lot more lessons, stuff like that. But for the most part, the differences between the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo versions are obviously the graphics are a little better on the Super Nintendo. It's a little bit more advanced. There's a little bit longer lessons. This is a really cool accessory for the Super Nintendo, considering that not many accessories really came out for the Super Nintendo. I can think of a ton for the NES at the top of my head, but really for the Super Nintendo, I can think of a few. You have like the Super Scope 6, the Super Nintendo mouse, but this is one of them. This is one of the earlier ones. It came out in 1991, so it came out the same year the Super Nintendo hit the market. Now, how I came across this interesting story, actually, I was just at a Goodwill, a thrift store, and I happened to see this in the wild. And complete in box. I got the box. I also got the styrofoam to go with it right here. You can see the styrofoam. I obviously got the piano. I got all the cords, the connecting cords, so I got the power adapter. Same as the NES, so if you don't have a power adapter, you can use the NES adapter. It works fine. Also got the connection cord to the Super Nintendo. So basically the way it works, this plugs into where the controller is, and this plugs back of the keyboard. So that is pretty nifty. And it comes with a pedal, though the pedal is broken. I need to get a pedal. So back in the day, it came with a pedal, obviously instructions, came with headphones. I didn't get any of that, and I was missing the game. But a couple weeks ago, I was out in the wild at a gaming convention and picked up the cartridge. So altogether, I paid $60 for the piano and everything, and I paid about $40 for the cartridge, which is about $100 total. But if you consider how rare this is for the Super Nintendo, you really don't see many of these out there. And the difference also just cosmetically, you have the sticker here. It's a Super Nintendo. Right here, you have a yellow license sticker from Super Nintendo. On the side here, also you have a Super Nintendo thing here, licensed by Nintendo. Here is the back. Shows you some screenshots. So there's a bunch of things. It's a learning tool for sure. And it kind of looks like, you have Mozart here, and you have some different games. Now let's see the different comparisons here between, as listed on the back, between the different versions. So Miracle Piano Orchestra, you have everything here. Rubble Man is like a mini game. They're both on this and the Nintendo version, but this is actually advanced. You also have a shooting gallery, which is advanced graphics. You have 200 lessons. You have 45 songs instead of 40 songs, which is on the NES. So a little bit more advanced, obviously. And there are 49 keys on this piano. It plays 128 different types of instruments. It's pretty advanced, and what's really cool is depending on how hard you hit the key, it kind of reflects the noise, how loud it is. Also has ability to split the sound, so you can do half the keyboard be one different type of sound, the other half the keyboard will be another type of sound. Let me now show you how kind of plays. Once I hook it up, I'll show you how it works. So I'm going to turn it on. Let's turn up the volume all the way. You can hear it. Now it's set up standard on piano. Okay. Harpsichord, organ's cool. But what's awesome is if you go organ, vibraphone, you can do this. Half is going to be organ. This will be vibraphone. But if you do vibraphone and organ, this is vibraphone. This is organ. So it depends on what you type in first. Let's put the overlay on. And there's other options here. You have melody 1, melody 2, accompany, bass, percussion. So if you do select and you hit up, it starts with library select. there's all these different sounds. So you have this, the same note, depends on how many times you hit it. Same thing with melody 2. Or you can also scroll up, different options. You get country, Latin. Let's go to rap. There's all these presets. So you have, like, this is rap. So that's rap. You go percussion rap, dog. It's kind of weird. You get this rap. All different types of layers of different rap notes. So 100 different variety of tunes. You know, it's not a bad accessory for a gaming system for sure. It's not as good as what you probably could get on its own as far as the electric piano goes. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the game. We'll see how it works and see how it interacts with the actual piano. Got my controller and I have my keyboard here. Let's hit start. Bet you didn't know I could play. All right, so let's get started. We got adult, child section. Most of the sound comes from the keyboard itself. So let's do adult. All right, a little about it. Okay. It's a thumb. Got these 5 fingers here. It's like Guitar Hero. If you hit the wrong one, it doesn't move forward. So you have to hit the right key. Oh, you can tell I made a mistake. So here you go. Professional already. Good, okay. Few mistakes. Okay, timing now. Here's a demo. Here you go. I missed one. And now this is RoboMan. This is also in the... This is also in the NES version as well. It's just all about timing. Kind of like Raw the Robot. It's a mini game they have in it. So here, let's try this. Just getting the timing. Seems super slow. Seems dragging. Here you go. I butchered that. Try it one more time. Here's with an orchestra. See how I do. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now you get other keys, and there's other mini games in this as well. But overall, that's the Miracle Piano. It's a lot of repetition. It's just a lot of practice, obviously. Pretty cool, though. Pretty sophisticated for early 1990s. Let me know what you guys think of the Miracle Piano. I really don't see much difference between this one and the one for the NES, to be honest with you. Even graphically, it's very, very similar. This is just a little bit more harder to find. If you guys want to stay in touch, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, also my website, Gamester81. I'll put links below. I appreciate you guys watching and, of course, subscribing. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.